let's talk about the expectations for this series. Raptors probably expected to advance in round 1 and round 2. The script is flipped, very much so, in this conference final.
Yeah, big time. And you think about the Cavaliers and kind of coming into this season, the fact was everybody saw the finals already, Cleveland against Golden State. So everybody in the Eastern Conference have been discounted.
Going into the series, we definitely thought we have a chance to move on and win. We're all NBA players. They lace them up, we lace them up. And, we were going in, as a collective group to try and beat them, of course.
We can win. We can win the series. We can get to the finals, but we got to play great basketball.
We beat them before, so we weren't looking at it as like, oh, we got Cleveland. We're just like, man, we do what we need to do. We can go to the finals. We had it at times. It got away from us, but at the same time, we showed the world what we could do.
Being counted out, having our backs against the wall, dealing with doubters, naysayers. We went in there with that mindset, and the naysayers and doubters kind of escalated after our first 2 performances. But that didn't stall us at all. We understood what we had to do. In game 3 and 4, we came out and showed the world.
A different feel around this conference final. Round 1, round 2, the expectations for the Raptors, you're going to win. You're the number 2 seed. You're going to get to the conference final. Right now, going up against the big boys, expectations have changed a little.
This is amazing. Who will win the NBA title? We need the other.
I thought it's a great opportunity for a joke with the other. And probably somebody already did it. I just think it's bad. It's bad. It's pretty bad because it's 4 slots and it's 4 teams. I mean, what would somebody thinking when they put that? But it's something very minor. It shouldn't bother nobody. It's just somebody's mistake. We all make mistakes.
It is what it is. It is what it is. You respect people's opinion. That's just their opinion. Ain't gonna change us. And just know that we in Detroit, we in Atlanta. Yeah, the Raptors, man. So that's how it's gonna be.
On the radar, we've been on the radar for forever, so it's no big, it's no different. I feel like the country of Canada been on the radar forever, so it's no different. So I think this team, we got a chip on our shoulder, so we're gonna just try to come out and do what we can and try to keep performing at a high level, keep doing it on the defensive end, and we'll live with our end results.
People gonna talk about us. They have done it the whole season, the whole series. First it was the Raptors will make it past Indiana. We did it. The Raptors, the conference final was going to be Miami, Cleveland. We did it. And it's a good challenge. It's good to see that we, as people talk, we just get out there and get our work done. Of course, we take it personal. Of course, we're going to get out there and get it done. But don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if something happened that people did not expect.
Yeah.
think it's enormous. I mean, not just for the franchise, for the city, for the country, for basketball in Canada. This is huge. I mean, you look at numbers. I don't know if Canadians understand the numbers. If we're doing, say, 1.8 million, right? You multiply that, it's the population difference between Canada and the United States. The per capita, that means last night, for example, OKC played Golden State. About 10 million people watched. At 1.8, 1.9 million, we're doing more per capita than you're getting for OKC, Golden State, in the United States. So people are watching. This is making an impact. So you've had the basketball fans, you've had the casual fans, and now you're getting everybody saying, hey, what's going on over there?
Kevin, appreciate you.
Well, I think it means a great deal. First of all, it shows that the franchise is pointing in the right direction. You're doing good things, you're doing the right things.
It's huge because when you look at over the years, they haven't had this type of success. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, they didn't get a hockey team in the playoffs this year. So now you got the whole country behind them. So I think that's huge for the development of the sport here in this country.
This is basketball night in Canada. Not hockey night in Canada, this is basketball night in Canada. No Canadian hockey teams playing. A lot of people that are wondering what's going on are all going to want to see.
The fact of the matter is it's been an awesome season for this team, for this city, for the franchise. They've come a long way. They've taken some huge leaps this year. And if they can take another one, it makes it only better, you know. But this team is very close right now, doing something very special. And even if they don't do it, they're still very close, you know, and have an opportunity to add a few pieces here and there and try to get over the hump next year.
This has been an incredible year for them, incredible year of growth for young players to experience these type of games, to develop the younger players, to have your all-star players playing the biggest games possible. It's been a fantastic year.
I think it gives the fans a payoff in their investment. I think it gives the players a payoff in the investment because it's a long season, 82-game grind, and you start to have self-doubt if you don't get to a certain level. You know, guys like DeMar and Kyle, in the All-Star game, that's great, but they are surrounded by guys who, you know, have the championship or have finals experience. Now they get to like be in that club and say, you know, we were certainly close to the highest level, one of the Final Four teams in the league.
And for the franchise, you know, when you can tell people we're building, we're in the process of getting to where we want to get to. We're not there yet, but you got 48, 49, 56 wins, Eastern Conference Finals. Come on. That's not attractive to other players around the league. Walking in an arena like this where it's jam-packed, thousands of people outside, everybody watching, that's attractive.
The Toronto Raptors got here through going to 2 Game 7s against Indiana and then Miami. For the Cleveland Cavaliers, they swept the Detroit Pistons and then the Atlanta Hawks. They have been off for 9 days, and as we know, Leo, the Toronto Raptors won Game 7 against Miami. How did they do it? Well, it took a collection of players, but certainly their all-star backcourt over the final 3 games of that series against Miami, they were sensational. Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan. LeBron James has advanced to the NBA Finals 5 consecutive years. He certainly has it in his mind that he will head there for the 6th consecutive year. He's tough to handle.
It's the Eastern Conference Finals. Make some noise for y'all.
James, he scoops it up deep in the corner. And throws it down as it gets by Carroll. Raptors certainly hot in that first quarter shooting. They're down to 46%. And Kyrie, slick move there. It's 62-42, back to 20. DeRozan here, and Kyrie just runs into him, takes it, and James with the thunderous slam. 81-56 in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. 115-84 here. Dwayne Casey is going to have his laptop with the film, and it'll be deep into the night. He'll be dissecting this game.
That man does not rest. Dwayne Casey does not rest, and he's going to make the necessary adjustments for the Raptors.
I would say if I ask everybody here, like that, if they knew that the Miami game in Game 7 was going to be a blowout, like everybody would say no, and it was a blowout. So they're going to be blowout games. They're going to be games like that. And in the playoffs, every single game is different. And those guys are really good. Cleveland is a really good team, a great team. And we're here, so we have to compete and we have to play. We didn't get here to come to the Eastern Conference Finals. We want to win, and I think our team should we're going to try every our possible best to win.
Do you anticipate a lot of changes?
That's coaching, I can't say, I'm sure Dwayne Casey would have looked at tape and seen all the different things that he has to adjust to, but that's more coaching. I see it, maybe a different way now. Now is the time for the coaches and the players, honestly.
It is Game 2 of the NBA's Eastern Conference Finals. Cleveland Cavaliers leading 1-0 after dismantling the Raptors in Game 1 on Tuesday night. Back inside Quicken Loans Arena, although here they call it the Q.
Game 2, man. You know what we got to do, man. 48 minutes of hard work. Win on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Have fun, y'all. Have fun, y'all.
Oh, straight up!
And James with a rebound, calmly into the front court to Love, and Love saves it. He threw it away. James slam dunk on the inside. The elbow looks a little tired there. Here's James, electrifying the crowd at the Q. LeBron James, 21 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists, 15th career playoff triple-double. What will Saturday bring back home in Toronto for the Raptors? They're going to trail this best-of-7 series 2-0 against the Cavaliers in the Eastern Conference Finals. 108-89. Cleveland, a perfect 10-0 in the 2016 postseason.
It seems like we get caught in, when they make a little run, we get all out of control instead of regroup and continue to do what we do. So with that being said, it's, we're gonna go back to Toronto, and that's our home, and then we're gonna take care of our home. Foul, no foul. Some calls gonna be called, and some calls are not gonna be called. That's just the bottom line, and we gotta find a way to play throughout that.
No pressure. Like I said, they protect their home court. We're gonna go home and protect ours. In front of our fans, in front of Jurassic Park, we're gonna go protect our home court. That's what they did. We're gonna do the same thing. So we're not going down like we owe to. Our backs against the wall. We're going down like they did what they needed to do. We gotta do what we gotta do.
The thing I keep reminding everyone, we're in the Final Four conference finals, going up against a hot team. We've struggled in the first 2 games, but it's not like we haven't had our backs against the wall before. We haven't beat good teams before, or this team. So again, confidence is a big part of what we're doing right now. The way we lost the first 2 games is bad, but again, it's 2 games in a playoff series in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Well, they have a chance, but as we said before, they are overmatched. So it's going to take a special performance from the Raptors to win one of these games.
With Valanciunas out, they're pretty small. Biyombo is the only big guy that they have. Everybody else is like a small forward or a perimeter player. And when you're going up against that size, that level of athleticism, against a team that happens to have one of the top 2 players in the world, that's pretty daunting in and of itself. But it would still be better. Let's say, for example, if your best player was a power forward and a center, and it was just a matter of styles. The problem here is that Toronto's 2 best players are Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan. Well, who's their direct opposition? LeBron James and Kyrie Irving. I mean, you almost feel sorry for them from the perspective that as good as they are, they're not LeBron James. And because it's LeBron James, I mean, DeMar DeRozan has pretty decent size for an off guard, but he's not 6'9", 260. You know, Kyle Lowry, guts, heart, really works hard, built himself into an all-star, a lot of pride. I've known him since his days at Villanova. But Kyrie's special. And so it's almost like you just find yourself saying, my goodness, could it have been a worse matchup, particularly with Valanciunas hurt? That's what the task is. There's nothing to be negative about with the Raptors. They've had a great season. I know there's 2 games to go, but as far as I'm concerned, it's over. And it's over because they are faced against almost insurmountable odds. It would take a Herculean performance combined with miracles in order for them to win this series.
I wouldn't say they feel they're overmatched. I think they feel like they haven't played well. So in some ways because Cleveland's very good, but in a lot of other ways because they're not playing to their potential. So, so where that meets and, what percentage of that exists, I think we'll find out better here in these next 2 games here at home. So to me, I think that I've been disappointed with the compete level. They've kind of gotten down on themselves a little bit. I think some of that had to do with playing 2 really tough 7-game series against Indiana and Miami. They look like they had no pop, no energy, physically, emotionally drained. And now you're home, you got to prove it. I mean, you have people calling you a JV team and telling you the series is over and laughing at you. So now this is about pride now. This is about, you beat this team 2 out of 3 during the season. So come on now. I think Kyle Lowry will be infuriated. And anytime he's ticked off and really angry, he plays his best. He's been absolutely, I live in the U.S. I've heard ESPN radio and ESPN. He's getting crushed in the United States, based upon the end of the second quarter in Game 2. So I think he'll be his ornery, most ticked off self. And with that, usually plays his best because he's got something to prove. He's got a huge chip on his shoulder. And when he does that, other guys follow.
Every great NBA franchise at some point in time or another has faced a juggernaut or their version of their kryptonite. That's what happened here with the Toronto Raptors. They didn't lose because they choked. They didn't lose because they don't care. They didn't lose because they didn't work hard. They didn't even lose because they're lacking skill. They're losing because you're going up against a team that's bigger, stronger, more athletic, more depth, and more experience. I mean, those are 5 categories that are incredibly pivotal come playoff time. When those kind of odds are stacked against you, almost no one can overcome that.
Now it's a great challenge. You've gotten through the, hey, we're in it, and gotten blown out in 2 games. Now it's like, hey, man, we're home. It's another game. Let's go. You're a professional, and you want to play well, and you want to win. And there's only 4 teams left. There's 26 at home. So everyone's watching. You're on the biggest stage, not only in North America, but worldwide.
Could they pull it off? A miracle could happen, and they could steal a game, but I doubt it.
Inside the Air Canada Center, 20,000+ on their feet. A sold-out crowd on a Saturday night at the Air Canada Center for the Toronto Raptors and the Cleveland Cavaliers. It is time for Game 3. crowd into it. Clock down. Patterson got it. Patrick Patterson from Perkinsville.
Nice. It's my old stomping grounds, Matty D.
In the denial. Big business. Getting busy.
That's just a great reaction right there.
Carroll now attacks, kicks. Joseph to three. Got it. Corey Joseph from Pickering.
Raptors.
2 seconds. Joseph lets it fly. Got it. Corey Joseph straight out of Pickering.
Nice pass.
Biombo unguarded, and the Raptors have found him. He's got 7 points, 6 straight, and the Raptors lead 91-77. As you mentioned, so many people counted the Raptors out.
Well, the worst commentary I heard about this Raptors team is saying that they quit. From Kyle Lowry on down, they quit. They played 2 bad games
without their starting
center against arguably the best team, one of the top teams in the NBA. Come on. This team hasn't quit all year. They always find a way to bounce back.
Lowry connects.
And no one as much as this guy right here. Raptors would not be here today without Kyle Lowry.
Raptors win it 99-84.
Go, CJ. Bring it home. So how you need to play?
Yeah, Biz. We'll be all right.
On the jump. Forever.
I'm a little shorty over here.
That's home tonight, bro.
Get a little mamacita tonight.
Collarbone. That's like a collar.
Got it, boy. Big up. You see it? Okay. Go on, y'all. Check on. Check on me. Got another one Monday. Got another one Monday. We came out with some intensity tonight. We got to come out with the same intensity on Monday. Come in tomorrow, watch the film, and just get better, man.
Guys, good win. Good win. That's the way to find a way. Everybody came in and contributed. We kept them 20 points in the paint. 20 points in the paint. That's big time. All right? We got to continue to do that. Protect the paint. Protect the paint. All right? We had 34% from the three-point line. But again, we got to continue to do that. Protect the paint first. Multiple efforts and get out. Let's be hungry. Let's stay hungry. Let's stay humble. All right? But let's stay aggressive and be confident, just like we were tonight.
Hey, Johnny, what's up?
Happy Victoria Day weekend, everybody. Tonight, the Raptors hope that victory will be on their minds. They could absolutely change the scope of what everybody's been talking about.
Well, I think that they've certainly changed the mindset of the Cleveland Cavaliers. I expect them to be a more physical and aggressive team heading into Game 4, because I think after the first 2 games, I think that Cleveland was thinking that they were going to have an opportunity to sweep the Raptors just like they did against the Detroit Pistons as well as the Atlanta Hawks. And Raptors returned home and they put up a tremendous fight. So certainly now I think that they understand that they're dealing with a different element than maybe they dealt with in the first and second round.
Well, I certainly think the Raptors have their attention. I don't know about Dow. Dow might be a little bit of a stretch. I think we'll see a more aggressive LeBron James, particularly with his back to the basket. I think they go back to that early, and I'm anxious to see what happens.
I think a lot of people in the U.S. are starting to understand how passionate this fan base is. It's the best fan base in the NBA. And so much of what the Raptors do has been copied now by other NBA teams. Look at Jurassic Park. And they'll be there when the team's on the road. Every single city we go to, there are Raptor fans. So I think that people are starting to understand how deep the fan base is.
This Raptors playoff run has been agony, right? It's been agony. The Indiana series, the Miami series, the way the games were played, and then Cleveland, the first 2 games, despair. But that's the point. The point is that Raptors fans, for the first time in franchise history, have gotten to care about this team and agonize over this team until it feels like summer outside. And that's awesome. This building deserved that. They deserved not to have it end here with a thud. And it's, I mean, the worst case scenario now is it won't.
They have not gotten good shots the last 2 trips here.
Dellavedova cut off. Here's Fry, the 3, and it's good.
Well, you can't lose him. In transition, they push it down your throat. And if you're James Johnson, you got Fry. You got to know where he is.
James. Dellavedova. Fry, the 3, got it, and it's a 1-point game. Well, timeout. Toronto as LeBron James just stares down Drake as he heads to the bench. Up top, Lowry, up fake, on the drive, and 1. And chance now for Kyle Lowry, who has scored 31 points to tie the game with 5:41 to go. Lowry backs it up, looks for DeMar. DeMar fading, shot, no, Patterson. Inside. DeRozan banks it in.
I'll tell you what, that is ridiculous. That should be an and 1 right there.
20,000 on their feet. They get the switch. Lowry attacks right to the rim. They got the switch with J.R. Smith, and Lowry drives to the rim. He's got 35. Here's Kyrie. He takes a 3, doesn't go, and the Toronto Raptors take game 4 to even the series at 2. 105-99. Toronto now 4-0 against Cleveland at home. 8-2 overall at home in the postseason. 41-11 combined regular season and playoffs. Lowry and DeRozan a combined 67 points. The Raptors, after 2 games, trail this series. They are now even.
You ready now?
Yeah, been ready. He said I'm ready. I said I've been ready.
And we did what we were supposed to do. Good job, Biz. Stop fouling. It's a weed. You can foul LeBron 6 times. Get one. Get one on the road, people. Get one on the road. Officer of the room.
Guys, all right now, good job. Way to answer. All right? Every team in this league is going to make a run. They're going to make a run, all right? You guys answered on every possession. We're going to figure out that elbow play. They kicked our butt about 5 straight times. All right, we're also going to figure out the mid-pick and roll, all right, when they blitz us. Those 2 things, we got, number 1 thing, we're going there to kick their ass at their place. That's our goal.
It is as simple as this. This is the biggest game in Toronto Raptors franchise history.
Well, we gotta play better on the defensive end. Those first 2 games, we had a lot of mental errors. So we just gotta, tighten that up. Our rotations and everything.
We got to be able to sustain the first punch by them. They're going to come out, their crowd's going to be into it, giving them extra juice. We got to be able to sustain and match that energy and make runs of our own and really focus on the details on the defensive end of not giving up easy shots, not giving up easy paint touches to the guys attacking LeBron and Kyrie, and just play with that confidence, swagger that we had at home those 2 games.
The Toronto Raptors get set to take on LeBron James. Without doubt, he is going to try to impose his will on this game early on. Irving with it. Irving to three, go! Kyrie Irving. Huge first half for the Cavaliers. DeRozan now pulls it back, and it's taken away, another turnover, and James takes flight. And Love rips down the rebound. But around town today, there was a tremendous amount of concern for the Cavaliers. No concern right now. Love lets it fly, and the Cavaliers in total control as they lead by 34. Here's Lowry on the drive, swatted away by James. Valanciunas back on the court for the Raptors. Here's Kyrie right to the rim. And Cleveland continues to pour it on. And so the Toronto Raptors will return home facing elimination. The Cavaliers lead this series 3-2, and they are 1 win away from advancing to the NBA Finals for the second consecutive year. But Kyle Lowry, DeMar DeRozan, and the Toronto Raptors return home knowing that they are undefeated against the Cavaliers at the Air Canada Centre in front of their home crowd. Corey pulls it back out. There's 4 on the clock. Lowry now attacking. Left hand doesn't go. Tapped out. James with it. Raptors down by 6. James spinning in the lane. Good. He is so good, so dangerous. And already LeBron James with 16 points. Kyrie maintains the dribble. James now attacks. And the throwdown. And LeBron on a 5-0 run.
See it slipping away, you're just trying to fight back into it. You know, your adrenaline's pumping. Obviously, you know, you're getting a little frustrated. Things ain't going your way. You're playing hard, you know, trying to leave it all out there. But, you know, then they, you know, to get a basket or whatnot, and, you know, you kind of get a little bit frustrated, you know, because you want to win so badly. But, you know, you start to notice the fans, you know, cheering, you know, standing up out of their seats.
Cavaliers are just rolling right now, 80-59. And the Cavaliers are 10 of 14 in this quarter. Lowry got it, and they need more. Lowry's got 9 in the quarter. Does he have more in him? Spin move on the take, drive, and 1. Lowry cut off by James. Here's DeRozan. The Raptors have cut it now to 10.
Yeah, Valanciunas way out in the corner. There's no rim protection.
And James with a tough shot.
Damn, what else can they do? How else can they hurt us? Miss a shot, please. Oh, damn. It's heartbreaking. It's heart hurting. Even right now, me talking to you guys, think about it, it's heart hurting, you know, but they did what they were supposed to do, and you know the level that we want to get to, and that makes you want to get there even more.
And their big 3 have come through. J.R. Smith from downtown. They've made now 15 threes.
You just felt like you was getting drugged down from the top of the mountain that you worked so hard to get up to, you know, and at the same time, you know, we did it together. We always told everybody we win together, we lose together. You know, we fight together, we get knocked down together. You know, it was just one of the moments happened to face reality, and to see them fans stand on their feet, cheer for us like they've been doing all year was amazing.
And there's Kyle Lowry and LeBron James embracing. What a season it has been for Kyle Lowry as he goes down and acknowledges the bench of the Cavaliers, and so does DeMar DeRozan. DeRozan going down the bench as well.
There's just so many emotions running through you at that time that you don't really, kind of sit down and think about it, but you just kind of try to take it all in at once and just make sure that you enjoy that moment, because some people don't ever get to that position, and it's not promised that we're gonna get there again. So I think for me, I just try to enjoy how far we've come. And for me, I was here towards the end of that long period of time where we've been losing games, and I think it was a little emotional for me last night, just seeing that where I came in at and where I started from to where we're at now. It's unreal.
In your wildest dreams, did you ever imagine that you'd be here for Game 6 in the Eastern Conference Finals? It has been, without question, the best season in Raptor franchise history. Their first ever trip to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Look at these crowd. The crowd all standing
listen
up,
to the fans.
all cheering their team on.
As it was going on, I kind of didn't appreciate it because I was so disappointed in the game. But now, being able to sit back and think about it, like, man, that's pretty impressive, man. The fan base, we wouldn't be here without them. We wouldn't be in a situation. We wouldn't have won, countless of games on our home floor. We wouldn't come back from countless games on our home floor. So our fans, by far, the best NBA fans.
It's emotional because the fans, they deserve it all, man. From standing outside to just everything they do, from representing us, from shirts to paintings on the wall. You see so much as a player and fans representing you, and for them to stand up and chant Raptors, we the North. It's incredible.
What a remarkable season for this Raptors team.
No doubt. And on the other side, congratulations to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Worthy champions. They'll represent the conference well, and they'll be a formidable force come NBA Finals time.
Fans chanting, "We the North" here.
I've never been a part of something like that, just to see the support, and the never quit, never die attitude in the fans, with them knowing that the games, that the season's over, but they're still proud and backing us and staying until, the last minute ticks off, the second ticks off the clock. It's unbelievable, Jurassic Park being full capacity on away games. I didn't know that even happened, that they're there standing outside watching on the TV screen on away games. It's amazing. You don't get that, I don't think, anywhere else. We definitely have the best fans in the league.
It's an unbelievable atmosphere. These fans, they mean a lot to their team, and I think the team gave everything they could, throughout this whole season. Took them to places that they've never been before. To get to the Eastern Conference Finals, they've never been there before, and to win 2 games on their home floor as well in front of their fans throughout this conference finals. They just showed their appreciation. They were unbelievable all season long, all the way to this point, and they definitely showed that towards the end of the game, all the way throughout.
It was a little bit everywhere, Obviously, we're a little bit, frustrated we didn't, get to our goal. We didn't accomplish our goal. Obviously, we understand the nature of the business that, nobody's really, guaranteed a spot. So, it was just everywhere, obviously, at the same time, you're, a little bit, not happy, but, you got to give yourself a pat on the back a little bit because we did break a lot of franchise records. which is a good thing and which is a step in the right direction for us. But it's a little bit all over the place with the emotional roller coaster that we're on after the game.
Well, I think just for every win and for every loss, you don't really know how blessed you are, to be around great guys. Sometimes, you can be a really good team but not have that chemistry. And I felt like with this team, guys, chill with each other off the court, and that translates on. So you kind of just lived the moment, man. And it was, like I said, it was bittersweet, but it was kind of sad too, because you wish that the ride kept going. But all great things have to come to the end. If it ends with a win and everyone's cheering, if it ends with a loss where it's surreal.
Hard things are hard. Hard things are hard. Winning a championship is hard. All right, it starts this summer. All right, here we go. Together on 3. 1, 2, 3. Together.
Everybody was just in the locker room, hugging it out and just telling everybody how great of a season it was and how happy we were to be a part of it. And just enjoying that last time, with those jerseys on with each other. It was a good moment, but at the same time it was a sad moment. And to know that you just kind of finished that road of this season. It's a big moment, but it means a lot to everybody.
The locker room was really emotional. I almost started tearing up too. Talking to everybody, saying thank you to all the vets. Guys walking around. It was really emotional. I think everybody put so much into the season, so much commitment, so much dedication and hard work and belief, and being counted out. I remember the talks between Shaq, Charles Barkley, beginning of the season, like we weren't even going to be a top 2 team. Atlanta had something to say, Boston was going to say something about it, and just always pushing through the adversity. So everybody felt it, and we really believed that we could have done something special this year and going to the finals and winning a championship. That was the ultimate goal. And to be so close and fight so hard and to fall short, you felt that from everybody.
Winning was a disappointment because, of course, you don't want to lose a game like that. You don't want to hand like that. And on the other hand, it's like, just being thankful to share the locker room with all these guys because they make it fun to be in the locker room this year. You want to live life. They give you life and they make you enjoy life. We crack jokes all the time, and we always had a positive energy, great energy in the locker room. And I think that right there, that's what has bring a lot of joy into my teammates. And then you look around, again, I've been around the league, it's just that you never know what may happen, changes might happen. And I mean, you can only say, well, it was a real pleasure to share the locker room with these guys, and an amazing experience for me, because since I've been in the league, this is the most fun I've had in a season, and I really got to enjoy each and every moment.
Say bye-bye. Bye-bye. Say bye-bye. Yeah, of course.
Great job, man.
Appreciate you, Jay. Appreciate it. That's how you do it, man. Tired, huh?
That was great, though, man. That series in Miami was epic. It was epic. It's awesome, man. Go do your big thing, man.
sucks. As simple as that, man. It's a hard high to come down from because you're at the highest of highs, and then it's like boom. Okay, yeah. One day you gotta set your alarm again. After that, no more alarm setting, no more going to the gym, no more having open gym follow you, no more talking to Biz. You know what I mean? Like it's no more of that. It's no more talking to Skull. It's no more this, that, talking to the rookies. It's none of that. Back to normal life.
Don't call me. I won't answer.
I mean, it's tough. You know, sometimes you want to smile, but it's hard to smile because, you know, you're done. But at the same time, you know, you got to be proud of what you accomplished. You know, just mixed emotions. You know, having to not go out there and play in front of the fans again, or whatever it may be. You know, it just sucks to really got to go home now and get ready to do it all over.
Don't worry about it. You gonna have it. Don't worry about it.
I said in my presser, this probably was one of my funnest teams in the Brooklyn team when we went to Brooklyn. That was a great team. I love that team. This team here, man, just the culture, the ongoing bantering, the nonstop, just no matter what happens, you're gonna play your butt off and fight for each other.
I've been fortunate, you know, enough to be on some, you know, wonderful teams and do, you know, some wonderful things. And I think, you know, this team is right up there, you know, with all of them. You know, the bond that we had, you know, the bond that we have off the court is, you know, as great as any of them. And I think that comes first.
They had an ice storm last night.
Yeah, what?
Yeah. They had an ice
Had
an ice storm last night. But on the weekend, on the weekend it says should be 11.
On the weekend.
Celsius. For the American Celsius.
Guys caring for one another, you know, guys having their own kids, being friends with the other guys' kids. It's like a family atmosphere around here, you know, and that's not to say it to be saying it, you know, it really is that way. From us joking around, laughing, getting on the bus, leaving the arenas, going to the arenas, practice, whatever it may be, you know, we enjoy each other's company, and that's hard to find.
Get out my peripheral. Everybody behind the backboard.
We all bought into the same dream, and you know, in the past seasons before, we always talked about, man, if we do this, we do that, we can get to where we want to go, we can get here, we can get there. This year it was like, man, we wanna go here. This is what we want to do, and we were all holding each other accountable about what we need to do to get there. And I mean, it was an incredible journey, you know, playing with all these guys, and getting to know them, and then I couldn't ask for a better team. It was the best team I've ever been a part of. So, I mean, it was just, you can feel that when you're in the locker room with the guys. So I think that's kind of what, you know, set us apart this year.
Have fun, y'all. Have fun. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. I think the Raptors, much respect for the other generations. I think right now the Raptors is the different reality now. Before, like you say, people look for playoff rounds or whatever, but now people look for championships.
That's all that ever mattered to me. That's all that's ever mattered is championship.
Without a doubt. You know, this whole summer, everybody need to keep in their mind, you know, 6 more wins. 6 more wins. You know, get to this point and win 6 more games. You know, that's all it takes, you know. Not to make it sound like it's easy, but more so of let's take on this challenge again and understand what needs to be done and how we need to do it.
We saw how close we got. We were a game, 2 games away from the finals. And I mean, everybody was just, you know, always talking about, oh, just make it out the first round. And, you know, our mindset was, man, we're already thinking about bigger and better things. And I think now we already have a taste of what we want to be and where we should be, at least every year. and we're just trying to build that.
Coming into the NBA, that's the ultimate goal. There's one goal, and that's to win a championship. That's to be a world champion, and anything short of that is a fail. And I'm really glad and grateful and proud of things we did accomplish, what we did for the city, and seeing how much they backed us and putting that belief. But, we really want to bring home a championship to Toronto.
Free agency is always, interesting, man. So it's my 8th season. I signed a second contract 4 years ago, and looking to do the same, this year. So it's been a great ride, and I definitely would want to, still see myself here wearing the #1 jersey, and get back to where we were and even better.
This was a fun year, and hopefully I get the chance to have another opportunity to be here. I think I did a good job. I work hard, and I'm in peace with the results. I know I'm 36. I know I don't have 10 more years to play, but I feel I don't feel I'm near the end. I think I can still play, and I will still play. Hopefully it's here, but if not, it will be somewhere else. And I'll do the same things that I did here, which is work hard and just try to be a good positive influence.
I know there's a lot of kids have a lot of stories in the film. That's just from me growing up in Africa, and I'm sure somebody behind me, it could be Kyle DeMar. Can I finish my interview?
Can you pay me back
Pay you
for
back
using my finger?
What does your finger do, man?
Can I get my loyalty money?
From a big brother to little brother, I'm not paying. I got a license myself.
You got a license?
Yeah.
From the Mutombo brand?
Yeah, from the Mutombo brand to the Beast Nation.
No, from shaking my hand, keep my hands alone.
Diz, he definitely, he bought out this year. Congrats, man. I'm happy for him. He's like one of my brothers on the team. He's a good guy. Always trying to hold everybody accountable, trying to do the right thing, and I'm happy, man. He deserves everything that's coming to him. This is gonna be a big and great summer for him, and I'm just happy for him. I mean, nobody deserves this more than Diz.
Tell me about it, yes! You heard me, yeah!
I would love to see him here next year. Big key, crucial part to what we did. I think he really made a name for himself too, and household name. He's gonna have a really bright future ahead of him. He's really young, and I hope he does. Come back and re-sign with us and stay with us.
Big business, getting busy.
Into the summer, my next step, honestly, now is just try to clear out the season. I've played for the first time in my career 112 games or more. Miss no practice, miss no workout, miss no games. But now for me, it's just start looking at a big picture. And more than anything, I would love to be back here, because I love Toronto. I love the fans. The fans have been unbelievable. The team, the organization have been unbelievable. I really enjoy this season. It makes you want to play basketball, because, when you go through all these other situations, you get to the point where you feel like, I don't know if I really, you start having a doubt. So I don't know if I really love this game, but really being here and playing to all these things, it's like, I love this game and I want to continue to play every night. Of course, there are pains and all this, but it's just something about this season that make me love the game even more. And yeah, I would love to be back here. And one thing that I truly believe is that there is the right people to get it done. So I'm not too concerned about it.
Debo, oof, man, just come back, bro. Just come back. Come on, man. We so close. We can do this. And He's definitely an integral part to this franchise. He's a key to what we need to do.
And to DeMar, you know, he already knows that, you know, I looked up to him when I was in high school, you know, being a great mentor, great leader for me, talking to me throughout the whole year, planning his off season around me, you know, working out with him, getting myself better, getting myself in the gym with him, you know, and, you know, he set records for this organization, and hopefully, you know, you come back and become a lifetime Raptor and stay for your whole career. You know, I think it'll be really good for you, and to lead something like your idol Kobe did with the Lakers. You know, you can do something like that, and to come back in and submit your name in the Toronto Raptors legacy.
Everything. It's so much more that needs to be done. You know, I feel like, you know, I haven't did nothing. You know, there's still so much that needs to be done that I want to do, that I want to accomplish. You know, because this organization, like I always said, deserve it. This country deserve it. You know, and to see the growth over the years and, you know, how far we came. You know, that just shows you that it's possible.
Do you want to be a Toronto Raptor for the rest of your life?
I've been saying it for 7 years. You know, ain't nothing changed. You know, that's anybody know me. That always been my mantra. You know, I rep this Toronto thing harder than anybody. You know, I never, even when we was down and out, when we was terrible, you know, I let it be known. It's not changing now.
I think this is a message that we sent that we're gonna, any team that plays us, you know, is gonna come here to this building and have a grinded out game, you know. They're gonna have to be prepared. You know, we've had a great, you know, home crowd that energizes us. You know, I think that, you know, we're a contender that's gonna be float around the basketball world.
We're a force. We're a force. I mean, I think we kind of have that whole underdog thing about us. Everybody kind of points to us, so that's the underdog, but at the same time, like they're not out of it. And I think that's our role. I think, you know, with that grimy, dirty, physical team that's gonna go in there and play every night, and that's gonna get under your skin, play tough, play hard, and I think that's what, you know, people like about us.
I think the message is simple. We're going to get it done. Either people want to be on our side or no, we're going to get it done. That's us. And I think the message right now is people know when they play the Raptors. We know you're going to say what you have to say about us, but when we get out there, we're going to get it done no matter what.
We're here now. We're here and we're here to stay. It's only up from here. You know, you're gonna see us. You're not gonna be in the background. You're gonna continue to count us out. But we're gonna continue to be resilient. We're gonna continue to fight. We're gonna continue to build and be a top team in this league for a really long time to come.
Say the name of the Raptors in the summertime, whatever you are, they're gonna respect us. They're gonna respect us, and that's what I love to hear.
What's next? Offseason. Work. Get better. Grind. What's next season? A dangerous team.
You like that one, right? That's good. You like that? I knew you liked that.
game.